Tokyo. いかがですか? One, I like Osaka.
Yourself love ramen.
Yeah, we love ramen. Each one.
Why did you choose Osaka ultimately?
Oh, okay. Let's start with the easy one first. I chose Osaka. One, I like Osaka, but I spent most time in Tokyo. But I think every American, every Westerner, they know Tokyo very well. Godzilla. Everybody knows Tokyo. I just wanted to show a city that most people hadn't really seen that much yet. So I chose Osaka. I just liked I liked Osaka's river. I liked the look of Osaka, all the neon lines on the river. So I chose it just because it was new, it was different. You can do that one first. As far as Japan, Japan's been a big influence. Japan, I guess, entertainment culture has been a big influence since I was very young. Anime, manga, Japanese cinema, Toshiro Mifune, one of my favorite, Akira Kurosawa, my favorite director. Very big influence on me. I started doing martial arts when I was 10 with Japanese judo, all the way through now. So I like the way, I guess I like the Japanese storytelling structure of anime, of manga, of their cinema. I like a lot of the codes that have a lot of similarity with like the Western code or medieval or European chivalry. They have Bushido, chivalry, honor code. Like I like those ideas. I think Keanu and I are both big fans of a lot of Japanese entertainment and a lot of the characterizations and what's the word? Ideas or themes. Like, is that a good theme? Like theme that we have in Japanese culture. So we wanted to. That's always been a big part of the John Wicks. Even if I don't shoot in Japan, the storylines, the character of John Wick has a little samurai to him. He has a little Toshiro Mifune, a little John Woo, a little like always little Asian cinema wrapped in there. So on the last, when Keanu and I decided to do John Wick 4, we wanted to do it in a place that has had such a big influence on us, and that was Japan. So we actually wrote the story to take place in Japan. I guess the way I see Japanese culture, the way I see Japanese entertainment isn't this fantastical, it's perfect, it's everything. Like, but it just, that's more of a romantic vision. It's like seeing America as the land of opportunity. It's perfect. Like it's not really about that. It's just when you talk about cultures, a Japanese citizen sees it so much it's part of you already. From the outside, it's always things that's a little interesting or a little different than the culture that we're in. So for an American, especially a filmmaker, you look at not so much just Japanese culture, you look at the way they tell stories. The structure of a story, how they tell a story, where the emphasis goes. That's what I find attractive. Anime, manga, Japanese cinema tells stories differently than we do. So it's not just about samurai or Bushido, it's just a different structure. So that's one thing I noticed very quickly. So again, it's not this altruistic view of just Japanese culture, it's the way you do certain, it's just like the way you do a tea ceremony, the way you do something, you do entertainment differently. And I think that's fascinating. The Chinese do it very differently, the Japanese do it differently, the Europeans do it slightly differently. I think it's important to see the differences and know why you like the differences. And I'm just trying to reach a wider audience with action. So I want my movies not just for Americans, I want them for, all of Asia, I want them for all of Europe, I want them for world things so that you see Keanu, it's that feeling, that character is something everybody can relate to. And the only way that will happen is if I understand a lot of different audiences.
Putting all those things into your shots.
Very obsessed.
How hard was it?
Not very hard, just you have to, if you know from the beginning, you have to be very precise in your vision, and you have to let your crew know as soon as you can. So I start very early. I collect 1,000 photos of Japan. I love cherry blossoms. I love like neon Tokyo, Roppongi, Tomburo, like everything I love about Japan. We put it up on the wall, and then me and my production designer decide what we're gonna do and how we want things to look. And it's a slow process. It takes about a year to to go through everything you love and the colors and the locations, but that's the fun part. I get to create a world. So it's a world that's fresh to Japan, it's fresh for America. It's a little combination. Sometimes, like if you were doing Lord of the Rings, you have to create the world because it doesn't exist. I like to try and challenge like my crew with John Wick, like that world doesn't exist and I have to build it. And that's really the funnest part of it.
Hiro, as he often does on sets that have any kind of Japanese elements to it, would sometimes
He's
check
very
the props.
he's very
Yes, see if
authentic.
they're
Yeah.
authentic. So.
He helped us with all the train announcements.
Oh,
He helped us
yeah.
with all the signs, all the posters in the hotel. He did. He got us the family symbols. Hiroyuki was part of the art department. Yeah.
How did you enjoy working with her?
Rena is great. She's so hardworking. She's amazing. She's my new favorite addition to John Wick. She's like the best. I found her. I didn't know who she was. I was trying to cast the Akira part. I couldn't find an actor that. I was just looking for something different. I was looking for somebody right off an anime page, and I was in Berlin and just I was on YouTube. Typing in Japanese rock star, just I don't know, right? And then I kept seeing this different video come up, and it was Rena with an orange wig on. Then another video would come up, and it was Rena with a blue wig. And then I just realized, it took me a couple minutes, but I realized it was all the same person, just with different looks. And I thought anybody that could change looks that much was incredible. So I click on the link, and I see her performance. She can dance. And for action, we look for people that can dance, because it's good memory, good stuff. And I just, for 3 nights, I kept going back to the same videos. And I was just like, yeah, fuck it. Let's try. So I called my agent, got a hold of her agent, and within, I think, less than a week, for me never knowing her, don't even know who she is, watching a video till like 5 days later, we flew her from London to Berlin. And I got to meet her with Keanu, and I think the meeting was she came in, I talked to her a little bit, then we went and met Keanu in the gym. And the stunt gym is, it's very intimidating. There's like 50 stunt people, Keanu Reeves, here he is, and a little crazy. And Rena comes in, looks around, goes, wow. And then my stunt team and Keanu and her, we all talk. Within an hour, we're like, she's the one. We knew. I knew. So very, very cool story. Yeah. I'm very lucky. Rena said yes. I'm very lucky.
What do you see in the future with them? What kind of journey is ahead of you?
You never know. I think we both have a lot of other projects to do, but we both enjoy working together. We like the process. I think we have a very good time coming up with ideas and working together. So for myself, I hope very much that I could spend the rest of my career working with Keanu, and we'll just see what happens.
ドニー・イエンさんが厨房で麺類を食べてるんですけど、あれはラーメンですか、そばですか、うどんですか？
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. ちょっと麺の種類はごめんなさい、覚えてないんですけれど、面白い話があって。
We were in, we shot that scene in Berlin. And Donnie and I, we shoot all nights. So at the beginning of the day, Donnie and I were talking about how much we love ramen and noodle. And we're like, we couldn't find good noodles in the city we're in at the time. So we kept talking about noodles, and we're just, how we love Japanese ramen, and how, he missed some of the noodles from China. We're like talking about noodles. A couple hours later, we got to do the scene. Donnie comes to me and goes, I think I'm going to be eating noodles. I want to start the scene eating noodles. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So we changed the whole scene so that instead of Donnie coming in doing action, he starts being really like Chow Yun-fat. Super cool. And we take the sound, and he gives me this big idea. He just comes in, I want noodles. I want to do noodles in this scene. So it was his idea, because we've been talking about noodles all day. And then we redesigned the scene just to have him sit noodles. But I don't know exactly what kind of noodles he had. I did do a lot of takes. I think he probably had like 6 or 7 different bowls. I kept going again.